Up here to the top left in the blue, the Terran player 1 game away.
Samsung Galaxy Can turn.
From elimination. It's turn.
Stressing up here to the top right. And the red seeming pretty calm despite his ID.
StarTale panic.
No, man, he's causing the panic. He's not panicking himself. He's panic itself instilled in the hearts of his enemies.
Yeah. Well, what do you think he's going to do? I actually think he's going to be aggressive again in some form. Maybe... He's
shown aggression in every game that he's played today.
Maybe just standard Oracle, not like the hidden Oracle, double Oracle, you know, Marine Massacre build. Quick gas. Going to be seeing a Reaper expand here. Most likely. Could also be some sort of weird drop play. It's not like a gas first quick gas, but it's still pretty quick.
No.
And there's the gas coming up for panic as well. So you used to play hockey. Did you ever have like any really moments where you felt like super nervous and it really affected your play?
There was one, and that was the national tournament in the US. It was my first time being there, and my first couple of shifts, it was really nerve-wracking. Like, I was going really hard, but like making a bunch of mistakes, and it got to me, but like my coach calmed me down, and from there I played well. But I mean, yeah, man, if this is like your job, especially, like even more so than like a youth sport or anything like that, like this very game, this is what your life relies on right now. This is where you make your money, like how well you do in here. And, you know, if you get played in team tournaments as well, even like if you have a terrible showing here, will your coach want to play you later?
Yeah.
In team tournaments, will, you know, certain stuff like that. So Turn's got to be
seniority
feeling
in
the
the
pressure
team and whatnot. I'm telling you, Samsung is going to be one of the best teams next season. I'm feeling it.
Yeah. They have a lot of talented players. Even Turn himself, I mean, if he can just deal with some of his nervous issues that he's showing today, definitely can be a really strong player for maybe next year, maybe later in the arena.
Good micro here by Panic. Avoids the death of that probe. And there's the factory going up pretty quick here back at home. It's that extra gas that he's built up after the Reaper expand. Only made one Reaper, of course, here.
Yeah.
Probe will verify spawning location, CC. With no tight wall, we'll actually be able to come in here and even perhaps harass that building SCV. Not going to be too effective, especially with Marines popping out. Marines are not popping
pretty
out.
low. One more.
Oh, he's supply blocked. He's actually supply blocked. Those Marines are not coming out.
Yeah, he just starts him now. Oh, one more hit! But he doesn't get it. The SCV lives.
Delayed the factory, though, pretty significantly.
Yeah.
Lives it. Going to go ahead and make out some Hellions here, it looks like. CC is completed. Widowmines. Widowmine and a Hellion. An unlikely partnership may be formed.
Tune in next week.
Can these two completely different units become friends in this wonky adventure on merry-go-round? One of them's a light unit, the other one's a mechanic. One's very fast, the other is slow, can only attack underground. Well, wow, he actually takes a fast third CC. That's like the last thing any normal Pro S player would expect in this matchup.
Yeah. Turn taking some risks, and I feel like he has to. So far in the first 3 games he played, he didn't really have the best time. And, you know, gotta shake things up even in your own mind. Play a different game and just maybe you feel better doing something differently. Observer is out. And probably going to send that to the main base first, see what kind of production is going down.
Hey, he's probably going to be a bit confused when he sees that there's not that much production yet for what there could be. No CC in the main. it's hard for me to say that I think he's going to send the observer actually to the third base. I don't know if I would go that far. He's actually moving across the map. He's like, you don't have any units. Yeah, what's up with that?
Nice scan goes down, but again, like you were saying, this move out, he's got to make some more units or at least a bunker or something. If you're going to rush out that third base, there's a bunker.
He has 1 Hellion and 5 Marines against 8 Stalkers and a Sentry. Mothership Core is actually just going to chill over here and kill this. I think he's actually just going to die here, even with the 2 Little Mines. He needs to split his Stalkers against the Fire, though. And he needs to send the Observer across. Yeah, I actually think he should be able to... I'm surprised he doesn't actually try to get that bunker first. Well, regardless, he can actually swing around the right side. He's killing so many of these Marines before the bunker even.
Oh, man. Force fields are too good. He rockets down that bunker. Is not able to be completed. Not able to be repaired there. And here we go. A ton of Stalkers already on the front doorstep with no bunker. Just going to target down all of the fighting units and then just clean up the SCVs.
Yeah, I'm already warping in more SCVs, or rather, more Stalkers and a Zealot. And gotta be frank, Turn is the ugly duckling of the group here. He looks like the one who does not belong.
We had a Dark Horse event in the first group, but this one is the ugly duckling.
I mean, honestly, he just did not play very well. He played builds that didn't. I mean, the third CC build is just kind of like. It makes sense if your opponent's playing kind of defensively, he doesn't really know what you're doing, but the observer comes over and he's like, "What? You have like 4 Marines? That's it? I don't know what you're doing, but it's not right." Like,
yeah.
He hit the Widow Mines too until the last second, which was kind of cool because then he was like, "No, I can really just kill. There's not even Widow Mines," and then he gets surprised by those. But
and Panic doesn't even know there's a third base, like.
Yeah, that actually might end up being the way that Turn could maybe come back in this game. Possibly, perhaps.
Because Panic is just turning around. He's like, okay, you're so far behind, you're on 1 base. I'm just going to 2 base, make a bunch of gateways, make some Colossi, and walk across the map for the follow-up.
He has, you know, a comparable income, obviously, with that second base and the mules he's dropping. There's no third base for Panic. He does have twice the Harvesters, but with mules, I mean, you can see how much of a difference that actually makes. A bit surprised he doesn't check that third. Because if you're a Terran, you often have to take the third to the right of the main base because, you know, it's easier to defend and attack at the same time that way. But the base to the south, you wouldn't really expect that much as Protoss. It's kind of far away. If you have to defend it, then you're not attacking the Protoss. You have to go back then. Yeah. Now he's checking. All you have to do is actually, once he sees it, if he turns immediately, he can just put a pylon nearby and then harass.
Panic is actually scared. He's like making cannons at his base because he thinks he's on 1 base and he's like gonna do some big timing. But now he sees the third base and he's like, oh, what?
It's interesting, he's mining almost only gas from that third base as well. You know, in this case, to just make sure that he has enough money for medevacs and upgrades, I guess. Let's look at the upgrades. +2 armor is starting now. The cannons are going up. He's getting a Dark Shrine. Holland gets canceled over here, but that third TC is so late. Look at the supplies now with all the extra economy, all the extra probes, and the infrastructure that's there to make big units like Colossi. You get the charge upgrades. The supply is like 15-3 up now. Supply blocked again, actually. Turn right now. Depot finished, and eventually the CC will finish as well. Hallucinated Phoenix Scout coming around, seeing just how small the army is. And he could just move out. As Colossi, he's like scared of drops, like you're saying. He's playing like super defensive, much more defensive than he needs to be.
I feel like he's just sitting back and he's like, okay, I'm so far ahead that if I just get super far ahead now, I cannot possibly lose at all.
Yeah.
Instead of like having a 85% chance to win, he wants to make that like, well, it's more like 95% chance into like a 99% chance, I guess.
Yeah.
Supply drop out of turn as he gets supply blocked once again.
It's really tough for him to keep up with his resource management while his economy's at this awkward stage at like 14 minutes into the game. I don't even fault him for that. I think it's obviously not ideal, but you have to do what you got to do. 2 DTs coming out here, no turrets in sight, something the Hallucinated Phoenix was able to identify. Did you see that? I guess he's stimming to run into that watchtower. Now he's got 1 scan, 2 scans. He doesn't have units nearby though. And does he have a scan on the 3rd one? I don't know. Turns back because the DT literally killed everything and then started killing the CC for some reason.
Yeah.
So that was let him know what was going on. Jess now finds out about the one on the main.
Here's the follow-up attack. I mean, he's got so much streaming across the map. He's like 150% of the supply of turn right now. He's got Colossi, he's got DTs, he could have Archons if he wants, he has Immortals, and a ton of Charged Zealots. Gotta fight together with this army. And he does. Hallucinates 4 Colossi, because why not?
Well, there's no detection, and he doesn't have any Vikings, really. He's got only 5 Vikings, so it's not like he can just... he can't afford to actually miss shots, basically. If he had, you know, 9 Vikings or something, this might be a different story, but most of the Vikings he has aren't even participating. Shouldn't be anymore now. This has been a rough day for Turn. That's all I can say. You know, I know people get really upset when I'm honest, but GG. Not been a code A-level day out of him today.
No, definitely not. So Panic will move forward. He has one more chance here to possibly secure that code S seed.
Yeah. And impressive play by Panic on the list. I mean, Turn didn't play brilliantly, but Panic played safely. He scouted, he reacted to what he saw. The build in game number 1, the double Oracle, was super cool. Really, really liked that build.
Yeah, that was an awesome build.
Can't really fault Turn for that one. But in game number 2, he just took a super, like, insanely greedy build, and Panic was just like, what? You don't have anything. He didn't know why, but he was like, wow, is he just really messing up on his macro? I saw the game against DRG where he made some mistakes. Maybe he's in his nervous zone, so he just attacked. You know, there's that old Day 9 saying, you know, if your opponent's something weird, just go kill him.
Yeah,
it's kind of, that
pretty
was kind of
much.
the
That's what
there.
we saw.
Yeah, so that was basically the end of the story there. We are going to go into our final best of 3 after a quick commercial break to decide the last player today who will join Code S.